Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we are going to be doing, I believe, part 4 of the worst aquarium reaction series. Now I went ahead and I picked out a whole bunch of videos and pictures just like the last videos, but some new pictures and videos of the worst aquariums or fish tanks, stuff like that I could come across. So the first one is a video. Let's just get right into this and roll it.
This is fire.
Be happy.
You got the goldfishes in the car now. Come on.
10 months now I have them.
You got the flyest car, right?
So if you didn't know what was going on there, that's a jar or like a makeshift fish tank with the fish, but in an Uber. So when you, like, I guess call your Uber, like, I guess if you don't have anyone else in the Uber with you, like, you got a fish to keep you company. I don't know. I don't know whose idea this was. I'm guessing the Uber driver did it. Obviously, I don't know who else would. There is an air stone going in there, so that's good. The fish does have constant oxygen, but it is a goldfish, and we know goldfish should not be kept in tanks smaller than like 10 gallons, and that's just when goldfish are small. When they're bigger, they obviously need bigger tanks. But also, like, driving, like turning, like hard braking, like stuff like that, will probably stress the fish out a lot. So I don't know who, this is not a good idea. You should not keep fish in your car. I don't know if, like, he brings the fish in at night or if it, like, stays out there. I'm assuming the aerator turns off when the car turns off, so I'm not sure how that whole thing goes. But I don't even know what to think about this one. I mean, it's interesting, but, like, in reality, should not exist, should not be a thing. I mean, I kind of like, it's cool there's a fish in there, but, like, from the animal's point of view, like, that's horrible. That should never be done. That fish needs to be in a real tank and out of a car. Okay, so this next picture is not a fish tank, it's a fish, but as you can see, there's a hole in it. So I guess this was taken out of Petco. It looks like a large goldfish, so I'm assuming it was maybe a rescue, like someone brought it into Petco to, like, surrender it, or maybe they just had it there. There's a nasty wound on the side of it, so definitely that could be a place for a bacterial infection. Definitely need to get probably some aquarium salt in the water to kind of help curb any bacterial infection. Maybe just let it heal over time, but if stuff flares up like fungus or, like I mentioned, bacteria, you'll have to treat that right away. So this is weird, this is crazy. I have no idea what even caused this, but it looks kind of nasty. Next up, looks like it came from something like OfferUp, Craigslist, or Letgo, and this is a wild ride. So we have a 29-gallon aquarium with a canister filter, some weird decor, a turtle and a pleco, and large parrot cichlids and an angelfish. So we have 2 parrot cichlids, an angelfish, a turtle, and a large pleco. There could even be more that I can't see. There's so much wrong here. Turtles should not be housed with plecos. Plecos can latch onto turtle shells and do a lot of damage. Turtles need a place to get out of the water. They need to get 100% dry, and they need access to heat and UVB lamps. This tank doesn't look like it has either of those, so automatically it's a no on the pleco, no on the turtle. The parrot cichlids are probably going to get way too big for this tank, let alone 2 of them, and a 29-gallon tank is probably the minimum for full-grown angelfish. So overall, this is just a horrible tank. It looks like they have like a rock like floating or something they're like trying to make into a DIY turtle dock, but it's under the water line, so it doesn't do anything. It's not going to help the turtle if it's under the water line. And it looks like they're trying to sell it for 80 bucks and saying it has LEDs. So LEDs do nothing for heat or UVB for turtles. So that light's definitely just for aesthetics, and it doesn't even look that good. They have like a whole shell in this tank. I don't know. This tank's super ugly. Would not pay $80 for it. I'd try to rescue the fish for free, but it is what it is. If you come across something like this, I would not recommend paying the full price to buy that item. It's always kind of an ethics thing. Like, yeah, you want to rescue the animals, but then again, they're kind of going to make money off doing what they did was wrong. So it's best to kind of try to educate them and swoop in and undercut them and lowball them to try to get their animals for a lower price by telling them what they did wrong so they feel guilty. It's a long process. While we're on the topic of horrible aquariums, this isn't even an aquarium. This is literally a vase. This is like a flower vase. So it looks to be around half a gallon. There's a little plant in there, what looks like maybe some floating live plants. I'm not quite sure, but they do look like there's some live plants in there, which is good. And then there is some guppies. Looks like some fancy guppies. So guppies are a tropical fish, so they do need a heated aquarium. If this vase stayed where it was warm, that's good. Maybe around 72 to 78 is perfect temperature for them. No aeration, no filter, nothing like that. Like no water movement. That's probably not going to be good at all. Guppies do need, you know, constant oxygen supply, as most fish do. So I'm assuming this fish is not going to live very long in a tank that sad and that small. I don't understand, like, do people just like get a flower vase and just instantly think I'm gonna put a fish in here and then go buy the fish without doing research? I don't know. This is a very confusing topic, but if you have a flower vase, please do not put fish in it. Put flowers in it. It's not that hard. So this next picture is just as weird as the other Craigslist listing. It's a picture of an empty fish tank. and then the fish that were in the fish tank are in the sink. If you're selling the fish tank, why not just leave the fish in the fish tank? Why take the fish out, put the fish in a sink, and then empty the fish tank? Why can't you just take a picture of the fish tank with the fish in the tank? Like, if you're selling the fish and selling the fish tank, why do they have to be separate? Why can't they be together? I don't know what this person was thinking. Did they dechlorinate that tap water? Probably not. I mean, if this is how they're keeping fish, like, I doubt it. 10-gallon tank for albino bristlenose pleco and a goldfish on the small side, but because the fish are still pretty small, it should work out technically if the fish were in the fish tank instead of in a sink. I don't even know. It's not even a fish tank. How am I supposed to react to it? It's a sink. It's literally a stainless steel sink. What are people thinking? Next up is another, I don't know why I have so many Craigslist ads in this one, but this is a silver Arowana in what looks like a 10-gallon tank. There is a pump and there is a heater in there, but the water doesn't look like there's a pump in there. So maybe there's like a wave maker, I don't even know. It looks like there's a filter, it looks like there's a hang on back filter, but the water is so murky, so disgusting, it doesn't look like the filtered cartridge or it's been cleaned or anything in a very long time. Silver Arowana are fish that get big. They're not that expensive like this listing says. At least in my local fish store, they're like $35 to $40 depending on the size, so they're not that expensive. But as they do grow bigger, they do gain a little bit in value. But this says it's a super rare silver Arowana, and that this 10-gallon tank with a filter and a heater and the silver Arowana is worth $150. Even if you spent the $150, you couldn't keep the fish in the tank, so the tank, the pump, the heater, that's all worthless. If you just wanted to buy the fish, you'd probably be better off going to a local fish store where the fish wasn't sitting in a murky, disgust. Like, that fish could die. When you could have spent $150 and it would die because it's been in such bad conditions that it probably would get shocked trying to move it around. But I don't know, there's a lot that's wrong with this listing. Like I mentioned, keeping a fish in a tank that's too small, that seems to be a topic that happens a lot among people who don't know what they're doing. They did have a heater, so they did realize it was a tropical fish. That's good. I don't know what the heater's set to, but it says there's a heater. The heater's probably not even plugged in, to be honest. But it said there was a heater, and that's about it for this one. I don't even know what else to say. Once again, not even close to worth $150. Even if you bought all the supplies brand new, would not be close to $150. So I'm not quite sure what people are thinking with their pricing. People need to get that checked out. And last but not least, an Amazon tank. So this was a review of an Amazon aquarium, and when I saw this, I was so confused.
But you did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
So this looks like a 1.5 gallon tank. It has a little LED light. It's got some fake plants, some fake gravel. Overall, it's an okay aquarium. It's not great. If you had a heater and maybe a sponge filter, it could be okay for a betta fish. Once again, I don't know the exact gallons. 1 gallon's a little bit small for a betta fish. But they went ahead and put 6 goldfish in it. 6 goldfish in like a 2-gallon tank. Okay, goldfish should be like 1 goldfish in a 10-gallon tank for a couple months till it outgrows that tank. 6 goldfish need like 55-gallon tank while they're small, like about that big, and then like a pond when they get full grown. Like 6 gold. Do people just like go to PetSmart, find the cheapest fish, and then just buy like 50 of them? Because we know feeder goldfish are very cheap, but I don't know why people want to get more than 1. Like, I get maybe get 2 because like they want to be friends, but 6? Like, it's such a weird number, and they probably know they can't be in a tank that small. Even 2 in a tank, even 1 in a tank that small is no good. Like, at least at the pet store, at least at PetSmart, I'm not quite sure if Petco does this, but I know PetSmart does. When you like look at the feeder goldfish, it's like 29 cents, and on like the little tag, it says like minimum tank size, 29 gallons. They get to like this big. Like, there's like stats about the fish at the fish store. Like, it literally tells you what the minimum tank size is. But people just don't get that. There's like a reoccurring theme throughout this video, or throughout like all the videos, is goldfish being in tanks that are too small for them. So I'm sure everyone here probably knows that already because I've been talking about it so much. But yeah, goldfish cannot live in like a 3-gallon bowl, a 5-gallon tank. Like 10 gallons is bare minimum, and that's when a fish is small. As they grow, I'd say once again probably like 29 gallons minimum for goldfish, what PetSmart says. That's pretty average. Depending on how many fish you have, you'll obviously need a bigger tank. And because goldfish produce a ton of ammonia and they eat a lot, and people tend to overfeed goldfish, because they eat so much, it produces a ton of waste and it can just make the water foul really fast. So you have to keep up on water changes and implement like a really big filtration in there just to kind of keep everything under control. But that is it for today's reaction video. If you guys have any pictures you want me to react to in the next reaction video, go ahead and email them to chewysbroaquatics@gmail.com and I'll make sure to include them in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching and good